You've got your basic streaming setup working? You want to bring your streaming to the next level? Well, let me introduce you to Streamer.bot. As I was getting ready to make more guides for Streamer.bot, I realized that I should show you what it can offer. Disclaimer alert! The tool has so much potential that in the next 10 minutes, I will not be able to show you everything. This is not a guide. This is more to introduce how Streamer.bot function and everything it can accomplish. Again, I will not be able to cover everything because it has way more to offer than what I can show you. So let's start with how it works. So this is the main interface of Streamer.bot that you're going to work with. The first thing is actions, and action is pretty much what you want it to accomplish. So let's do an example and let's make a new follow action. Let's start by creating an action. Right click, add, and we're going to create an action. We're going to call it new followers. I'm not going to talk about this yet. I'm going to come with it a bit later. The way this works is that an action is going to be triggered by something that happens during your stream, and then it's going to make a bunch of sub actions. Next, we're going to go set up the triggers. We're going to go to Twitch, channel, follow. So now every time you have a new follower, this action is going to be triggered and it's going to run the action. So let's start by sending a chat message saying welcome to your new user. Right click, Twitch, chat, send message to the channel, and we're going to say welcome user. So this %user percentage is a variable that the trigger will populate. Let me show you about that. Streamer.bot has really good documentation, and it's based on how you use Streamer.bot inside the application. So if you go to the documentation, get started, inside Twitch, we're going to go to the triggers, inside your channel, follow, and here you go. So every time you have this triggered, those variables will be populated. So this %user percentage is this here, which is the display name of the user. Once you have this set up, you can just come here, right click, and do a test trigger. And now you will see that in your chat, you have the welcome and the user. When you make a test here, it will populate the information with users that are already in your stream. So this is the first example that I wanted to show you. Now we created something based on Twitch, but the other platforms that Streamer.bot work with is also with YouTube and Trovo. The same way I did for Twitch, you can find all the information about all the other platforms in these sub-menu here. Streamer.bot can also connect to your stream apps like OBS, Streamlabs Desktop, or PolyPop. The way Streamer.bot connects to your OBS is with the WebSocket of OBS. I'm not going to show you this here. I really want to show you how it works and not how to do it. But more guides are coming and I will show you clearly how to do it and easily. Now, maybe you want to say welcome to your new user on your stream. So we're going to do so. In your OBS, you're only going to set a Text GDI. Back to Streamer.bot, we're going to add a sub-action for OBS, sources, and set GDI text. As you remember, we already have the username with the %user. Let's do the same. And now, when we're going to test it, it's going to send a message on your Twitch channel, and it will also make the Text GDI in your OBS with the name of the user. Obviously, you don't want this to stay on your screen, so what we're going to do, we're going to make this source appear and disappear. So the way we're going to do that is, again, with OBS, we're going to start that by making your source visible. So again, into OBS, we're going to go to sources and set source visibility. So just choose your scene, choose your source, and the visibility. So we're going to make it visible first. We're going to put it a delay of about 5 seconds, and then we're going to make it disappear again. So now we get a message on your Twitch channel. It changes the text, it makes it visible, wait 5 seconds, and hide it again. And now let's give it a test. The same thing as for the platforms, you will find all the information about the broadcaster software that are used in Streamer.bot. Streamer.bot also have integration with other streaming softwares. For example, StreamElements. If you have already merchandise or tip configured in StreamElements, it can go pick up information from this. Or if you're in a charity stream and DonorDrive is used, you can also get a lot of information from there. You can also use your Lumia stream or your VTube Studio or anything that is integrated with the systems. The Streamer.bot team is amazing because they keep adding new stuff to the Streamer.bot. The next thing I want to show you is more information about the actions. So you saw earlier when we created an action, there's quite a bit of options here. The first one that is really important to understand is the queue. The queues are a way to organize your actions to make sure that certain actions are not all played at the same time. For example, if you want to create a shoutout command, you wouldn't want to have like 20 shoutouts going at the same time. Especially that, for example, on Twitch, you cannot use the /shoutout command more than every 2 minutes. So to create a queue, the first thing we're going to do is in your action queues, you can see all the queues that exist. Yes, you can have more than one queue and you should definitely use more than one. When you create a new action queue, you can select the blocking here, which means that an action has to be completed before the next one starts. When you create a new action, you can select the queue in which you want this action to be queued in. At the same time as talking about the queues, we're going to talk about the commands that you can create within Streamer.bot. In Streamer.bot, you can create your own commands that you're going to use in your own chat. From the trigger, you can go to core commands and command triggered. From this trigger here, you can create new commands. Any commands that will be typed here that will be found in your chat will actually trigger your action. For a shoutout command, for example, you will have the name of the user you want to shout out after the SO. With Streamer.bot and the Twitch integration, you can go get the user information. In the case here, the information we get is from the input. Now that we have the information from the input that we used, we can actually make a better shoutout command. Again, many of the information will be available on their website. In the case here, we're going to use the target user. With the variable that we found, we can send a shoutout to Twitch directly that's going to trigger a shoutout command. But this is only available every 2 minutes. So what we're going to do, we're going to limit the shoutout not to be used more than every 2 minutes. By adding a delay of 120,000 milliseconds, that means that this action will take 2 minutes to complete. To show you this in action, I added the Twitch message because I'm not live right now and the shoutout command doesn't work. So let's see how it works. So to show you what happens here, I'm going to do a shoutout and then you see my text coming here. And if I try to do another shoutout right away, nothing is going to happen. If you come in the action queues, in the pending actions, you see that there is one running, which is the one that has the 2 minutes pause. Once this is going to be completed, then the other one is going to be running automatically. As you can see, I've added 2 more shoutouts, but they're still not going through because they're all pending one to another. And here we go. The second one has gone through, and then the other 2 will take another 4 minutes to complete. In Streamer.bot, you can also set your own variables to be used and reused and reused. In the example here, I'm going to create a love your stream command. Every time someone is going to say love inside the stream, it will increment a value in the variables, and I'm going to get it and return it into the chat. The kind of set global variable I'm going to use here is an increment, so every time it's used, it will increment by 1. Then I'm going to go get the value with a destination variable that I will be able to reuse. So now I'm only going to do a simple chat message saying thank you for loving my stream and how many times it happened so far. Because this command is in no queue, every time you're going to use it, you should receive a return instantly. And you see here, it incremented every time by 1. You can also set many different kind of variables. It's for you to find out what you can do with all of this. The next really cool thing that I want to show you about Streamer.bot is sometimes your hands are going to be busy and you won't be able to click somewhere or to go in a window and to just act with your Streamer.bot. With the voice command, I'm also going to show you something else that is really cool, is that a lot of people are creating extensions that they're sharing on the Streamer.bot website. For example, my lights at the back are Govies, but Mustache Maniac actually developed something that you can control them. And I can control them with my voice. Start party lights. Streaming lights. Another really cool thing about Streamer.bot is that the community is extremely engaged. If you go on their Discord server, which is going to be in the description, you will get help for everything you're asking for. You just have to be a bit patient, post into support, and then someone will actually take the time to answer you. And you might think that this is already a lot for an introduction. Well, let me show you one more cool thing about it. The team actually developed a deck. Yep, same as the Elgato Stream Deck. They develop a deck that you can run on any browser. These Stream Deck can be run locally, or you can provide it to someone else if you want them to control your stream, which is pretty cool. If you have an iPad, like I do, that you're not really using anymore, you can just run the browser on it, and then you have your own Stream Deck. So that was longer than 10 minutes. I'm sorry for that, but I hope you stayed until the end. And I really wish that I gave you the incentive to try Streamer.bot, because this is an amazing tool. If you really like what I did, give me a like, subscribe to the channel. There will be way more guides coming soon. Leave me a comment if you think that I forgot about something, or if you want me to develop about something in particular. Just leave me a comment and I will be glad to make a video about it. On that, start now.